Well, he's the number one cut player in all of college football 26. This is Luke, and we're going to be talking about his Final Four matchup with Velas Jones. Luke, how you doing, brother?
Good. How's it going? I appreciate you for having me.
Doing all right, man. You cleared over $3,000 in earnings this offseason, primarily playing cut. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, well, we're excited to go ahead and get into this one now. Luke, I believe also we were talking a little bit before we got into this. We're going to be covering these tournament games, but before we get too far into the games, Luke, what were the primary like similarities, differences between Madden and CFB this year from your perspective?
So obviously cut, like the abilities were very, very different. Like there's a couple that kind of translate like human joystick and shifty, but for the most part, the ability system is different. So for me personally, it's about figuring out how I want to play the game relatively similar on both games. Like I want to have like everything to me is football in terms of like the video game football. And so I'm trying to figure out how I can set up my offense, my defense that makes the most sense to me that I could apply all the concepts that I do in both games. And so obviously there's abilities like takeoff and things like that that are just way different than anything in Madden. But I've quickly realized if I just back off my corners every play, then I don't have to worry about takeoff. I'm not going to get run by. I'm not someone that runs man. I'm not someone that's really a blitz player. So I just want to make the games feel as similar as possible, knowing that they're not, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got you. Well, we're heading into this matchup against Velas. What was your kind of mindset going into this one?
Um, Score pretty much every drive. I mean, Velas is really, really good on offense. I mean, you ask anybody, I've heard Henry say that he's the best offensive player of all time, just across any game. And his offense is impossible to stop. And so I knew on defense, he recently started running this min, so he likes to send pressure. But for the most part, it's having quick reads to deal with the pressure on defense, and then take advantage of the speed boost in open field. Because if they're blitzing, if you get that ball out, you're gonna have a lot of room to work on the field.
All right, so as someone that like literally hates giving up kick returns and it drives me crazy, both in Madden and CFB, wanted to get your take on what is the best way to kick the ball off in CFB 26.
Um, yeah, I think the best way, honestly, and I don't even think I do it in this game, is you want to sky kick pretty much with full power. But I'm just gonna be so honest. There, you can house pretty much anything. I'm not someone that returns kicks. I really never am. In Madden, I will because most kickoffs they're not going to the end zone. But if the ball's going into the end zone, I always let it go. I don't want to risk a fumble. But this game, like players are so explosive that it almost doesn't matter. If you don't want to give up a kickoff return, just kick the ball out of bounds if you're really worried about it. I
Oh my
mean, like
gosh, for real.
it gets bad. It gets bad. I There was one in this run I squib kicked the ball and gave up a touchdown. I think it was the game before this.
Oh my
I
gosh.
squib kicked the ball and the guy just housed it untouched.
Literally, the greatest
So
thing that I found in Madden this year was the little sky kick in Madden. If you guys don't know, if you sky kick, point the beater all the way up, your players get basically an advantage, and you're not as likely to give up kick returns. So I'm here for it. One of the things I'm super excited for in next year's game is I think both Madden and CFB, when you get the ball, it's going to be at the 25 if it's a touchback, as opposed to like Madden this year with it being at the 35, was just absolutely ridiculous. All right. Well, you are going to be on the opposite side of the ball. We talked a little bit about it. Your kind of game plan against Velas is to try to score every drive. I wanted to kind of back this tape up just a little bit so that we could just get into the ins and outs of your offense and what your overarching like philosophy is offensively. So curious if you could speak to it. I believe you were in the Notre Dame playbook. Is that correct?
yeah, that was in Notre Dame.
And you come out in bunch strong offset. Do you do that every game? Because I think some games I saw you not doing that.
It really just depends. So if I'm playing someone who sends a lot of the way Velas runs his mint is you can see the D line is spread. When people are running that pinch D line, I like to come out in something like trips, one of the trips formations, or like the gun deuce, and then I have quarterback runs to get around the mint because the mint pressure with the quick jumps is really good. It comes in really fast, and so the best way around that is to run outside runs, and you can't really run up the middle against that pinch D line. So duo is pretty much dead. In any inside zones are pretty much cooked. So because Velas spreads his D line or doesn't pinch it every play, I'm able to run the ball and take advantage of that, which is nice. Um, but against like the pinch sets, like the min, like the I Joe Bruin min, I'll come out in trips for the quarterback run.
So essentially, the main difference between the two defenses, or the like the way that Velas runs it versus the way that like Joe Bruin runs it, is going to be really the positioning of these defensive ends. Essentially, they're going to be inside of the tackles. Would that be right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so these defensive linemen guys, they would be lined up a little bit more inside here, a little bit better against the run. Real quick, as far as Mint goes, like, what are you thinking in terms of like blitzing, where they can blitz you from? Like, what are you worried about, if you will, from when playing Mint?
So it varies player to player. Most players play with an auto flip off, and their linebacker, which Vilas has on the right, is almost or on the left is almost always on the right. And so
Right.
Vilas has it flipped. So in this case, I'm almost always assuming that that linebacker is coming in, and that it's either going to be a 5-man overload or it's going to be a 4-man. So it's normally going to be one of the two. Sometimes Vilas will send extra pressure and he'll send the slot corner or the linebacker. But for the most part, I'm always looking at those four to blitz. And so with that, like if this linebacker, if he's using that linebacker in between on the left, then I'll try to attack that space. Um, and then just kind of seeing what he's doing.
Okay.
Vilas, I know going into the game, he really likes cover three shells, and a lot of the time he likes hooks on his safeties for his cover three shell. So I tried
Okay.
to take advantage of that.
So
So
essentially
one of them would
letting
be
one
on a
of the
hook.
safeties being a hook, as opposed
Yeah,
to like
that's I.
a what we normally see with the half and that cloud.
Yeah, I know he loves the hook on the safety.
Okay. All right, so we'll get into that. We'll watch that, and then I believe on the first play here, you end up going with a crack toss. What's the deal with crack toss and CFB? Or actually, you went with deal, but still, what's the deal with crack toss and CFB?
A lot of the CFB defenses. So Mint specifically, crack toss is really good against because all the players are stuck together. So they're all close to the line of scrimmage. So if you can get outside of that with a little speed boost, I mean, you can take it to the house almost every time.
All right, so just the opportunity for a big play. So really, first passing play here, you decide to go with kind of standard dagger setup, streak,
Hmm.
post, drag, running back streak out, and then a clear out on the left hand side. Vilas ends up deciding to send five, kind of in a little bit of a different way. As you were reading this, what is your progression on this play
So the first thing I'm looking at is see if my takeoff fries and it wins on the
on your
outside, and then I
ISO side?
immediately look. Yeah, yeah, because the way dagger works is this fade is it runs extremely fast. So because he's not, I forget if he backed him off here. That's my first look. If they back off, then normally I'll look drag, and then running back or post.
All right, so essentially just checking this clear out fade and then
Yes.
getting to the drag quickly here. Vilas's user comes down on that. And
Mhm.
then so you do a good job just kind of be patient because he actually overruns the play and able to get
Yeah.
up for several yards on your first down.
Hmm.
Now, what like leads to an audible around within Notre Dame's playbook? Like, how do you go formation to formation? What's your thought process with all that in terms
So I
of?
really like going to this PA read play because it has play action blocking, which cancels quick jumps. And so that's
Oh,
really nice because the quick jumps, they speed up Mint even more. And so if you can prevent them from like getting their quick jump start with with any play action play, it's really nice.
so essentially just freestyling out of play action plays is kind of one of the ways that you can slow down the quick jump.
Yes, yeah. And that goes for any defense you're playing against. I mean, you could be playing against dime rush, cub, anything. If you call a play action play, you're going to be able to cancel those quick jumps.
Now, one little thing here, obviously difficult to score in the red zone. You decide to come out. I believe this is the trio halfback week. And is this the quarterback power? I think it's called like G
Yeah,
down or something like that.
this is the G down. Yes.
All right. So the G down, why this call versus the blast against Mint? And is this like a standard red zone call for you?
Yeah, especially against this Mint look because I mean you can see he's got what does he have there? 7 people on the line. And so
Yeah.
the G down allows you to try to kind of get outside of that, whereas the blast, like it can get clogged up, or the left edge can come in free against Mint specifically. If I get stopped here, generally I'll just no huddle and then call the blast as fast as I can just to see how that looks.
Okay.
Normally you can get people because you can snap the ball really quick in this game, especially off a no huddle or a turbo. And so I'll look to see. I like the G down to the wide side because I can. It kind of eliminates the linebacker and the defensive tackle on the left, and then the outside linebacker on the left, and you can kind of just you kind of either you and then you just read it. Like obviously here I cut it up the middle. I was hoping 65 would hit 9. I kind of got fortunate here with just the animation I got, and I was able to get pushed in the end zone.
Yeah, I got a nice
But
animation getting pushed in the end zone on that. But you did your job, right? Went down
mhm.
and got 7 on your first drive. So now what's your mindset defensively against probably the best, would it be fair to say, best offensive player in the game?
Yes, 100%. I mean, what's funny about playing Velas is you kind of know generally what he's going to call. He doesn't have that much variation. Where, especially on this game where he doesn't have verticals, you know it's going to be some type of cross drag, and then it's either going to be a corner out on the left or a tight end corner. Sometimes he'll motion out, and then he loves the little like it's almost like the crab route and bunch because it's a block and release on the running back, and he always has that.
And
So
you
if you
are going
actually,
to be in the dime rush, right?
yes, this is dime rush.
And is it 40 ins package?
I was not using that. I was
Oh,
not using that.
okay, I was wrong on that one. Awesome. All
Yeah.
right. Well, what's your thought process with Dime Rush against Velas here? Why do you like Dime Rush?
Well, I like time. I'm not someone who's a heavy blitzer. I don't really like to play in mid blitz. I like to have 7 in coverage and then fine. I was a big fan of the dollar drag over defense. I like to just try to get pressure that way. I like the stunts or I like dime rush because of the contained defense. For the most part, you're able to prevent people from rolling out. Sometimes they're able to step up, but generally the 2 contains on the edge, especially with the grip breakers, do a really good job of keeping my opponent in the pocket.
Okay, so I got to know what is the deal with Grip Breaker? Why is it so important?
So basically, it's supposed to be a run stopping ability, but in this game, for whatever reason, if the quarterback takes too many steps back or takes too many steps forward, like in the pocket, the grip breaker will essentially disengage and come off. Especially when they start taking off, the grip breakers will just come free and then they'll chase after the quarterback.
Okay, so it's essentially one of the best ways to shed effectively, right? If you do you pair
Yes,
it with
yes.
anything?
Grip breaker and then quick jump.
Okay.
Quick jump is the main one, and then I think I have pocket disruptor as well, and then I put a defensive rally on the field, so my platinum quick jumps or my platinum grip breakers can end up becoming Heisman grip breakers, and then my gold quick jumps can become platinum.
Oh, okay, cool. And then secondary wise, what are we doing ability wise?
The main stack that everyone you're gonna want is ball hawk and house call. That's the big one.
Okay.
Robber helps, and then so but the main 2 are ball hawk and house call. It's kind of like a ball hawk is kind of like a deep zone KO in terms of how they react to the ball. And then house call is essentially pick artist, so you're gonna catch most interceptions. And then also there's knockout now at this point in the year. So those are like the big 3 for defense.
Okay. All right, well, let's do it. So, one of the other things you do a lot of is this cover 3 on one side, cover 2 on the other side. Is that kind of your main coverage show?
Yes, yeah, I would definitely say so.
Okay. Yeah, one of the most common coverage shows I see pretty much across any kind of Madden or CFB. When you see like a couple of the best players in the world play one another, you're going to see that shell. What would you say? Probably at least 60 to 70% of the time.
Yeah, I mean it's the easiest shell to switch stick. It's relatively bomb resistant, and so your players are kind of in a good position to prevent your opponent from getting a big play.
All right. Well, we got cover 3 on one side, cover 2 on the other side. This Velas goes to double drags a corner and then scrambles out of there. So as you're kind of playing through this, how much would you say you switch it up defensively on this opening drive?
I think definitely this first drive is a lot of a feel out drive. I kind of want to see what he's calling, and just to kind of like see what guards what. Like it's tricky because his tight end he likes the tight end corner out with like the cross drag short cross, and so the way that they run, it's like I'm kind of trying to figure out what's the best way to defend it. He was really able to step up really well in this game, which was really frustrating. I really wanted to try to keep him in the pocket, and I wasn't able to as much as I would have liked to. And then there he hits me with the corner out.
Oh, that's nice. Do you know what playbook Velas is in?
Washington State. I'm pretty sure it's the only one with pistol bunch tight end this year.
Oh, okay. And he runs his bunch to the short side too, some. Does he
Yeah,
always run
yeah.
bunch to the left?
I think so. I don't really think. I don't think he ever flips. I think it's always bunch to the left. He's played this way for years, and then he has specific combos for the left versus the right side of the field.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it makes it way more difficult to defend when you don't necessarily have to flip. All of a sudden, it opens up a whole new layer to your offense, and he's going to get out of there, scramble on the opening drive, kind of like you were talking about. Very difficult to keep him in the pocket. I see you setting up this nickel 3-3 cub. Is that a red zone defense for you, or maybe just like an alternate defense that you like to go to?
An alternate defense. If I'm not in dime rush, I'm probably in Cub.
One of the biggest things that I think has changed over the last couple of years in whether it be competitive Madden or now some of the competitive CFB stuff that I watch is you really get kind of a lot more, I guess, variety, if you will, from defenses. People will start a game in one defense, they'll go to another defense, or like on the opposite side of the ball, you'll get a lot of audible it around. Can you talk a little bit about that as far as like from a defensive player's perspective? Why is it good to have a couple different defenses that you can go to?
I think the main one is you definitely want defense that can stop the run, especially this year. So having Dime Rush is a four down D lineman set, which makes shooting the run pretty easy. But then if I'm really struggling against the run, I have Cub as like a backup run defense. And then also some players are just comfortable against certain defenses where like if someone is giving me a lot of trouble with Dime Rush, and they're rolling out a lot, they're getting out of the pocket. And I don't feel like I'm getting as much pressure. I'll switch to Cub, which is a defense I can send a little bit more pressure in. So I think that's kind of nice to have.
Yeah, for sure. So right here, you go short side bunch. Do you just want to mix this in a little bit in your offense, like snapping some short side bunch concepts? You go
Yeah, this
streak,
is
slot fade, post, backside in, and then a swing.
yeah. It's just kind of this is kind of just a quick snap play. Um, and the main one here, this is my buddy Cujo's favorite play in the game. I'm pretty sure this play I missed the read on the slot fade. It's a tight window, but I mean it's really tricky to defend that short side slot fade. It'll get behind a cloud, it'll run over a hard flat. Like a half won't really play it. Like it's yeah, sometimes you can even throw it against a third. Um,
So really, the
that short
primary
side
route
slot
is
fade,
that short side slot
that
fade. Yeah.
slot
So
fade,
let's see how
yeah.
this kind of develops on this. So he ends up running a
Like I
cover
have it right
three.
here,
You had so basically, how would you pass it this? Would you freeform this? Just pass lead
straight to the
outside.
sideline,
Just
straight
pass
to the
lead or
sideline.
freeform?
No, not even freeform. You can just pass lead straight to the sideline.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
And I'm
Okay. So pass lead right, and then toe tap on the sideline.
yeah,
Yeah, and then you got the high low over the middle. This is just a great concept. I think this will be good next year as well. Having something that you can snap short side, super, super important, really, in any kind of offense, because kind of like what Velas is doing on the other side of the ball, it really is difficult to be able to, if you only run your bunch to the wide side of the field, it can kind of become a little bit predictable. So I
yeah.
like that short side combo. I'm gonna have to lab that slot fade throw because that's definitely something I need to start using a little bit more.
It is a tricky one because on that play, like if I when I said you could throw it, like I could have thrown it. If I waited a second longer, like that third can pull off and play it. Like it is a really tight window.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, on this, so able to hit the drag route. Now you're on the 50-yard line. I think you're going to go to the cluster, and you like this draw, yeah?
Yeah. Velas hadn't been sending. He does not someone that normally sends pressure multiple plays in a row unless it's late in the game. And so I figured if he was going to drop four, I'd have a good window for a draw.
Yeah, end up being a nice positive play for you, second down and two. Are you thinking any at this point about the clock?
No, not really. He's able to score really fast, and so at this point, I don't really think he's going to clock me. Obviously, I think I'm trying to score here before the quarter. Um, is a general rule, especially with it being 4 minute quarters instead of five. Um, I want to score pretty quick, but I'm not. I'm not worried about it at this point.
Yeah, and Vila's kind of sitting. This is one of the other questions I had for you. It's a little bit of a defensive question, but Vilas is doing this a lot of the defensive side of the ball. I'm really curious in this conversation around next year with macros and how adjusty you can really get. Do you think that you're going to get more adjusty than you have been previously on defense? Do you think it'll just be like I'm able to have my stuff set up, but my coverages are going to, for the most part, be probably what they already are? I'm just curious your thoughts on that with the macros in the new game.
I don't. I don't think I'm going to get more just. I think the only thing that might get more adjusty is the crossman. I think is that's the main one where I think it's going to vary. As far as macros go, I think it's just you're gonna be able to quick hike a lot even more like effect. Um, and so I think that's the big thing with the macros, and then it'll help. Like I'll have one button click for the cover three shell,
Right.
which will be really nice.
Well, right here, third and seven, you end up getting a knockout, and then that's going to bring up a fourth and seven. This, in my opinion, biggest down of the game, right? You were already talking about how you do not want to get stopped against Vilas because of how good he is on the offensive side of the ball. You decide to go to Dagger. This is kind of just one of my theories, right? On these big fourth downs, third downs, you're going to call like whatever play it is that you feel best in, would you say dagger is one of your top plays that you feel comfortable with?
Yeah, for sure.
So you go with that dagger combo. We talked a little bit about your progression in the beginning here, but you have this streak, and what we see here is that Velas does not back off this outside corner. Were you aware of that as you were kind of looking at this
Yeah, that
preset?
was honestly, if he had backed him off, I would have changed my route combo. I'm
Okay.
calling dagger as fast as possible just to see if I can get their defense to mess up. It's kind of like in Madden, there used to be where I think it's still a thing where if you have a palms quarter pressed, they will just get run by if they're matching. And it's kind of the same way with this takeoff. So that's what it reminded me of. And so if he would have dropped him back, I don't think I would have called something else. But because this guy is pressed, I think I'm just going to take off and I'm going to run by him.
Yeah, so on the biggest down in the game, go to the concept. Velas just basically gets messed up, and you were in the end zone celebrating a touchdown there. Now, as this game kind of plays out, progresses so far, any thoughts at this point on what you're going to do next on the defensive side of the ball? You going to change anything up? You're going to kind of stay playing just bend but don't break? What are your thoughts here?
I think after his touchdown, I was gonna. He was killing me with the quarterback step up, so I think I was gonna switch to Cub, here to come out this next drive, which I think if I recall is what I did, or maybe I went back to Dime Rush.
So with Dime Rush,
I
because
thought.
you're running the 2-man stunt, is that kind of a deal, right? Like because you're running a lot of Tom 2-man stunt, you're going to be
Mhm.
susceptible to that step up.
Yeah, that this is what I changed. So I switched to the left pirate 3 stunt, which at this point in the year is my favorite contain defense because you get a contain off the right, and then you get the Tom stunts or the pirate stunt looping all the way around the left. Even here, he was still able to step around it, but you saw how the contain was able to get him, and he wasn't able to get as big of a run. So I went with the pirate stunt there. And the nice thing about the pirate stunt is the way that the 2 guys on the left sometimes they crash down and they'll come in free, which is also really nice.
Oh yeah, especially with the quick jumps, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know Velas is in pistol bunch tight end, so he doesn't have any he doesn't have play action that he can call to cancel any of the quick jumps.
Yeah, that's one of the major things I feel like defensively is whenever you're playing somebody, especially whenever you know who you're playing, if you can know their playbook and know what are the tools in their toolkit, I think it's one of the biggest things you can do. Now, right here, you go match coverage.
Yes, yeah, I went match coverage here, give him a different look, drag the slot corner out, and then I changed the coverage a little bit where I like match and I'll man up the outside corners to the outside receivers, and I'll go match from there. Just messed up my user because I was worried about the step up. I mean, his ability to step up in the pocket is crazy.
Yeah, it's like I was. That's probably the biggest thing I've seen so far. It's just his pocket is so much better when you slow it down and actually watch it than once you see like in real time. I mean, his
Oh
pocket
yeah,
this game has been insane, and I'm sure that's one of the major factors as to why he's so good at the game.
100%.
Now, with match coverage, one of the other things you were talking about there, I just wanted to touch on is when you run match coverage, like how do you decide when you're going to go zone versus match versus like how do you decide when you want to mix in
I
that match?
so for me, match isn't something that I'm gonna run every down because it is susceptible to get bombed, and so I want to mix it up as best as possible, and just try to like keep my opponent guessing. Whereas if I'm putting a match coverage shell on the field 3 plays in a row, like it's likely against a high level player, I'm gonna get bombed for 7 points.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, especially if they know that's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, so right here, obviously second and 10, huge play, huge down here. He goes with like essentially a cross concept to left, hits the tight end on the flat. Now you've got him stood up here. Do you do anything to trigger this fumble, or is this
I'm
just
spamming strip,
yeah, I
So
figured.
what spamming strip does is I honestly thought he was down here, but what spamming strip does is the players that are like obviously you're standing them up in the tackle battle, and the players that are coming next will try to peanut punch the ball out, and that's what I was able to get there.
And that's a big deal, right? I feel like one of the best things about this matchup here was ironically you getting the ball first and scoring on your first drive. Whenever you can put an offensive player on the back like that, they make one mistake. Now it's 21-7. You got to be feeling good at this point.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely feeling confident at this point. Um, just looking, just trying to get one more stop because obviously he gets ball at half here. So if he's able to
Double dip the chip.
score, get 7, and knowing Velus Jones, he would score and go for 2, and then he would ball after half and kick his extra point and go up 1, which completely, I mean, it would change the game. So if I can keep him out of the end zone here, I feel really good about where I'm at.
What would you say like I've heard this a couple times when we talk about Velas, like uh, what would you say sets him apart offensively? Is it the pocket? Is it the off meta? Is it what would you
I
say is
think
like
the
the
thing with
difference maker?
Velas, I mean, his pocket is absolutely tremendous. He's always patient. He's never phased by pressure. I mean, he's almost impossible to blitz because he's been playing. Velas Jones he's different than almost any other Madden player because his pocket, the way he played squads running this offense, like literal mutt squads for years, and he just sat in this offense playing against 3 users. So he's comfortable. He's run this offense for so long. He runs it every year. It's kind of like D Croft and U Trips for the longest time. Whereas he's just mastered this offense. And
Mhm.
so there's not really anything he's not comfortable playing against. He's possible to blitz because if you blitz him, he'll have reads. He'll have his quick checkdowns that are he's really comfortable throwing. Um, and so I think that's what sets him apart is just his comfortability with everything. Like there's nothing that Velas isn't confident against.
Yeah, what's interesting about that too is it just kind of like highlights the importance of reps. Repetition, even if over years, right? You just also give yourself so many answers. You start to have these problems, and then you address the problems, give yourself answers. It's definitely one of the big things year in and year out. It's kind of interesting, but like part of the reason he's as good is because he didn't leave this formation,
Yeah.
to go run the newest thing or whatever. So kind of interesting. Speed option here, and boom, you got to be feeling great. Hit stick
Yeah, we were
fumble.
we were fired up. We were fired up there. And then I went down here to clock him. Did I? Yeah, I did. I went down here to try to
Interesting
clock him. I
decision
didn't
right
want to give
there
him any signal. Yeah,
because
I
you
didn't
feel
want
like
to.
you would
I
get
think
17.
yeah. If even if I don't score here, I'm feeling okay. If I even if I get stopped, even whatever, like I kick three and I go up 17 points, and I'm good with that. Like it's a 3-score lead. He gets ball at half, but I'm up 3 scores. So
Wow.
no matter what, I go up three possessions, and I don't want to give him any time to put anything on the board.
Yeah, there you go. You know you're hyped up when you put the face cam back on.
Mhm.
Got the dresser in the background.
Oh yeah,
Just a classic dresser. Now, where are you at? Are you? So you went to IU?
yeah. I went to IU. I graduated IU last May,
Okay.
so I'm an IU grad, and then I live in the suburbs of Chicago.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I actually literally grew up like in a little town called Brownstown, Indiana, which is about 45-ish minutes from IU's campus.
Okay,
So, yeah. So I claim that I'm a original IU fan when they won the Natty this year.
yeah. No, I mean it was awesome. I got to go to a couple games,
Oh, that's cool.
um, and it's awesome.
So you end up settling for 3 there, but what you did accomplish, I believe, is you took all of his timeouts. So what is your
Yeah.
end of half defensive strategy? You're in this situation right here, 30 seconds, playing probably, like I said, best offensive player in the game. What are you thinking coverage wise? How do you go about this?
I mean, he's only got one timeout, so I'm really trying to keep him in bounds as best as possible. I'm not always able to do that. I go to Cub here. The last time we had played, I ran Cub and I had a little bit more success. I'm really trying to keep him in bounds. Really trying to prevent this corner route or slot fade that he wants to throw solo side. So like right here, this is a win for me. I mean, he's got to burn his last time out. Now he's got nothing. And I'm kind of just trying to keep that same kind of defensive philosophy on the field the entire drive. Keep him in bounds. If one tackle in bounds here before a first down, and he can't really score. There's not much he can do.
Yep, right there, able to get out of bounds, able to get upfield, and I mean, if you for your life you have to keep a quarterback in the pocket like a Velas, right? What do you do in adjustment wise?
I in hindsight, what I regret is I didn't send the right linebacker enough with him on a contain. I wish I had done that more against him because that really would have forced him to roll out the other way, which I know he doesn't really want to do.
Yeah, right-handed quarterback, try to force to roll to the left side.
Yes, yeah,
One of the little things, I think that's one of the little things that ironically will be something that those macros really help with is you actually have time to think. When you're in a game trying to make these adjustments like super, super fast, sometimes it's hard for you to get that last adjustment off to blitz that linebacker on that side when you're trying to also set your coverage up. But you are able to get a pick on that one. Let's actually back
yeah,
that
yeah.
one
He
up. That's
he
it.
kind of forced it. He wanted a big play. I think honestly, had he caught this, like he has this pass lead up the sideline, and he didn't take it. Obviously, I had a cover three with a hook on this side.
So a little
Um,
cover three buzz here, hook to the weak side, deep halving this
yeah,
guy. Is
yeah.
that
To
just
try to,
a seam streak or what?
Yeah. I didn't want number 3 to get just to win, and then it also like if he once number 3 runs by the hook, which I knew eventually he would, that he could throw it, and I really wanted to take that away.
All right, so really
And then
just trying to take the center
because he's short side, it's a little harder to throw the slot feet down the field and get your feet in bounds. So I was kind of comfortable deep halving there.
Yep. So say yep, short side there. And this is the throw. So you're feeling like he was just basically pressing, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, normally he'll just pass lead it to the sideline or pass lead it down. Maybe my user switch. I switched it late. I don't think I was there. Maybe my switch late, like kind of kept him away from the sideline, if that makes sense. I'm not really sure why he pass led it the way he did.
Yeah, I mean, just situationally, right down 3 scores, but that's a big
Yeah,
deal because now, like we go in half, it's completely different than had he been able to maybe get 3 there. Like if he's able to get 3 there, 24-10, and get ball at a half, he could have made it a 1 possession game going into the first possession on the back end of that.
yeah, no, 100%.
So just the kickoff straight up here, and just trying to boot it as far back as you possibly can. So now 24-7, what are your thoughts here defensively? You going to stay in the Cub?
Yeah, I mean, I felt confident in the Cub. I mean, he just threw the ball. I was kind of chucked it, so I kind of want to see what Cub can do when he's not on a time restraint. Um, I might trying to bluff the pressure here. Just a lot of cover 3 look. And he has the bomb. That's another reason why I deep half is because
Okay, there it
that
is.
right there.
Yep,
Yeah,
there
there
it
it is.
is.
I don't deep half, and he kills me with it.
He's literally in the middle of the field too.
Yeah,
I mean, just literally in the middle of the field. I mean, got to be the best seam streak in the business, and just hits this up over the top. Man,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
got to make you feel absolutely sick because that's got to be like the one thing you did not want to have happen. However,
yeah.
fortunately for you, you do get a chance to stop Mayer in the red zone.
Yeah. So here I'm sending a little bit more, trying to send a little bit more pressure, get a guy to come in free. That's the one nice thing about Cub is that blitz specifically where you just put your user right in that gap. He can come in free.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get that pressure there. I think Cub will be one of the better defenses next year. Again, it's just always so good.
Yeah, I think so too.
What's it a
He's rolling
thing?
out.
And there it is, a little drag over the middle.
It's a tackle. Yeah.
And this is kind of the theme, right? I mean, like if you were to send this guy, the contain there would be so much better. But you're just able to get out of the
Mm-hmm.
pocket, and once he's out of the pocket, I mean, he can create. I
Yeah.
mean, just
Yeah. Oh yeah.
completely unfortunate animation right there. We're not able to get the tackle, and he's able to get in.
And then I knew he would go for 2. He always in any game that he falls behind by 2 scores, he's looking to go for 2.
So you setting some
It's just
zone
that's
drives there. I think you went fives
yeah,
on flats, right, and fives on hooks.
yeah.
Okay, so you got the.
5 hook, 5 flats.
And then one
Oh, I
question for
wish
you here, like what's your core thing in the red zone? I mean, you got Cub here, probably
I
just want to make
love
sure
I
you stop the
love a
run,
Tampa 2 in the red zone. I love cover 2 in the red zone, and then I'll put my deep halves on inside quarters, and that's my base coverage.
and then just switch through the quarters there.
Yeah, and my 5 hook just played nothing.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
actually not bad defense, but it just played absolutely nothing.
Yep. Love when that happens. Onside attempt
yeah.
here. Anything on the onside? Anything? Like
Spam fair catch, especially in college. This
Okay.
doesn't work in Madden, but anytime you just call base onside. As soon as they kick the ball, you spam Y or triangle, and then you're pretty much almost guaranteed to recover the ball.
Okay. All right. Yep. Space on side. There it is. And so you're literally just as soon as he kicks it, you're spamming triangle.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
spamming it.
Okay. Okay.
now
So
this
you're gonna
is
throw
another
cheap
reason
block on here.
Yes, yeah. And this is a big reason why I like the Notre Dame playbook because I really like the runs to clock the ball. Again, I kind of have runs for every look, and I'm not someone that's going to run the ball every play up and down the field from like my or like my trips runs or anything like that. Like that's not really what I'm going for. I'm someone that's going to pass the ball most downs. I'll have a run from my main formation that I'll call maybe. And then I just like my ability to clock in this playbook with like the runs that they haven't really seen for most of the game. I have that in my bag.
Yeah. Big third down here. Obviously, you're gonna go to. Are you gonna go to? Okay, I gotta ask you this. So you call, at least out of the huddle, you call this fake, or you audible to it here. Yeah, this fake toss slide. Is the reason you like this play because does it give you play action blocking?
Yes, it gets play action blocking.
Okay, that's what I figured. So you're calling this primarily because you want to try to negate the quick jumps, and then you're going to create a
Yeah.
combo, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So this is just freestyling a combo. And the other thing that's nice about this is if it's to the right, you can kind of get a little rollout glitch, like a little speed boost out of it as well. But obviously to the left, I'm just calling it for the play action blocking.
Now, this is a combo that you ran a ton of, and I got to ask you about it. Not necessarily this specific on the right, but the left side two-man game here between the stemmed up curl. Are you stemming that up, what, twice?
Yeah, twice with D-pad.
So stemmed up twice on the D-pad, and then you're using a tight end wheel, and then see if you actually leave. Do you leave it like this? Double drag, streak. Oh no, you put the post there. Okay, that's what I figured.
Post, yeah.
So explain like what are you thinking with this combo right here?
So basically, I have either the snap throw to the seam streak to the running back, or I have the snap throw if there's no flats on the left to the tight end. Here, I'm not really looking the tight end specifically because it's 3rd and 5. And then what's nice is the wheel will clear out really nicely for both the curl, so it'll pull any like flat zone away, so there's no chance my curl route gets played by anything other than like a hook. And then if then it's a high low essentially between the curl and the drag because the drag is cleared out for by the wheel. And then I have the post backside deep.
And it's essentially like a triangular read, but what's kind of what it
Yeah.
ends up being. So you're gonna read the snap streak. Another real quick note here: full slide right to stop mint. Is that what you're doing,
I think I have slid. I
or
think
half
it's half
slide?
slide and then I unID the user.
Okay, half slide, unID the user for the mint because you're obviously anticipating it on the linebacker side.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so first read here is going to be this little seam streak window, and then did you say you're going to get to the drag, or are you going to get to this tight end? What was your progression here?
No, I'm not really looking. I mean, I see that his linebacker dropped straight for the hook, the seam streak. So now I'm kind of just reading the drag and the curl at this point because I see his user is probably going to run to the curl. So now at this point, it's just read, or sorry, I'm going to run to the post. So now I'm reading just drag and curl.
All right, so user, nice switch there, but you see, kind of see this like three-man game developing really like this was a snap read, but really it's clearing space for your post. And then you
Yeah.
get backside to this drag. Now, the reason this drag is open as it is, which is kind of important to note here, is this is why this combo is really good because you have the curl to pull the hook back, and then you also have the wheel to pull the flat. So really like love this combo right here. So you see how that hook goes way inside, and then backside drag is going to create this little throwing window. So nice combo,
Yeah.
saved it for a big moment. And I saw you call that a couple times, sir, several times throughout the tournament in big moments. It's one of your kind of key plays.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 here. Survived it. Can take some more clock now, right? Are we just trying to get a positive run on
Yeah.
first down?
Yeah. Trying to get a positive run, trying to clock as much as we can. I forget if I go crack toss or duo here. Oh, I go inside zone. Okay.
Just a little
I
basic
was
inside zone. 2nd and 11. And now, okay, so 2nd and 11. Do you run again or do you pass here? What are you probably gonna?
It kind of depends on the look he's giving me. So right now, I really like the look for crack toss because he hasn't dragged anybody out. Um, so I kind of click around, mess around, and then I change it. I go back to the play action blocking.
All right, gonna go back to place blocking here. Showing pressure. And it's going to be a lot of pressure there. Just going to go high low again, post drag. I'm telling you, man, that post drag combo, post slant, post drag, either way, one of the best route combinations every single year. And it just puts the user in so much conflict in the middle of the field.
Yeah, yeah. It's really tough to defend. I mean, you have to. It's really guessing, and even if you switch it right, like if you switch it and then they throw the other route, and the other route's open. Like, it's just it puts so much pressure on the user.
Little QB run there to the outside. And Velas is a pretty good run defense on the first down. Kind of puts you in a little bit of a tougher spot having to pass on 2nd and long.
Yeah, yeah, he's doing a really good job against the run, which is really unfortunate. This is another one of my mix-ins. I used to I have reps in direct snap, so I'm pretty comfortable passing from this formation. I really like this playbook. The crosser here will clear out for the slant route if he leaves a cloud, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened on this play.
Oh,
I just snapped through the slant, but
yeah. That is one of the plays that I saw you run. We'll see it a little bit more in the finals matchup, but right, it's just I like this because you got the little swing, backside in, slant, and then you have a clear out. Why a crosser instead of like a deep end? Just because of what it can do for the slant, because it can pull a deep zone.
Yeah, I mean, it also sets up really nicely with where it runs and the spacing where the streak is. Like it clears out, like it puts so much pressure. Like if you, there's not really a way unless you switch the inside. You kind of have to switch your inside third to play the crosser.
Oh,
Because if you switch
gotcha.
anything else, you'll have the streak.
Oh, okay. All right, well, 3rd and 4 here. Gonna take this to the quarter. Should have realized that faster. All right, so gonna come out here for put fours up if you've made it this far in the video, but 3rd and 4 on this call here. Is this just I'm gonna try to pick it up with one of my plays?
Yeah, this is essentially spacing switch with the swing route. He played really good defense for it. I think I had the corner route. I think I just missed it.
Yeah, and this is a
See.
CFB, at least I would think, right? Like a little bit of a CFB difference because these hash marks are so much wider. You're gonna use a corner instead of a streak, right?
Yeah, here I'm gonna use a corner.
Yeah, and then if he hard flats, let's say he hard flats deep halves, you might have that corner over the top, and then
Hmm.
you're using a swing. Use a lot of swing routes in CFB. Is there like a logic to that? Like why a swing route over like a
It
table?
pulls outside zones, like outside flat zones, really well. Like it
Okay,
pulls, especially hard flats. A hard flat will just like laser in on it,
okay, so really
and then it
pulls hard
opens the field
flats.
for like a drag route.
All right, so we see here, yep. So he runs kind of a super aggressive covered shell, but essentially
Yeah,
it's. I think that's a third. Is it a third? Might be.
yeah.
Yeah, a third on that right side. Does the crosser pull the third late?
I'm not sure. I didn't. He switched it, so I kind of stopped looking.
Yeah, yeah. Let
My
me see
the
where we
breed
slow
here
down.
that I should have done is I should have playmaker to A. I should have playmaker the drag,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but I missed it, and then yeah, no, I didn't have B. He just
Had
played
to
really good
return late.
defense there.
Yeah, really good
Yeah, I had to
defense,
return
and that
late, got
brings up
pressured.
really good defense there. That brings up a 4th down and 4. Any thoughts on this play call? You're going to go back to the kind of the same
Okay,
thing.
I went back to the same thing. It was kind of a stubborn play call because I think I just missed a return, so I was a little frustrated with that. And he played perfect defense. I playmaker the drag late, just a frustration play call there. It was bad. In hindsight, knowing his zone drops were set so aggressive, I should have just went curl route. I didn't, um, and that was like the first mistake I made on offense of the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you make your first mistake when you're up by 2 possessions, 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, that's not necessarily a bad game for you.
Yeah.
But yep. All right. So now we're gonna go cover 2 on one side, cover 3 on the other side, cover 2 to the short side of the field, and he's gonna playmaker. Almost, he got an overthrow that could have easily been an interception.
I think he highballed. I don't know why else it would have been an overthrow. Maybe just because he dropped back kind of far. But yeah, it was a good play from him.
So it's thinking just kind of keep him everything in front of you now. Like you're probably not gonna be calling
Yeah.
a lot of match coverage in this situation, right?
No, no, no. Almost no match coverage here. Just trying to play zone drops. I know where all my players are, and then it's just trying to find what he's looking for. That little swing route he has is really tough because it sits like underneath everything that he has on the field, and so there's no way to guard like the crosser, the drag, and then the swing.
Another little thing you're doing there, backing off that outside corner, probably just to handle the takeoffs, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to give up a one play touchdown. I mainly just want to keep everything in bounds, make him work as much as I can.
One of the things that I've been really impressed with watching plays, kind of like how you use switch stick. I was curious, how did you improve your switch stick? And also, I guess, just do you have like an overarching strategy, philosophy within how you're going to use it whenever you go on whenever you're primarily using it on the defensive side of the ball?
I like to use it just kind of if my opponent's hitting me with something over and over again, like I like to try to switch the route. Like I don't necessarily want to completely guard it with my coverage shell. I want to see if I can make it look like it's going to be when what they have is what they want, and then switch that. And then I really like it to switch corner routes. Like that's the main thing. Is it
Yeah.
gives me a lot of free play defense against corner routes. Like right there, I switch it to takeaways out.
One of the things you do a pretty good job too is like switching on to playmaker routes.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one thing from playing obviously Madden at this point in the year with the what's it called? What's the ability at this point?
Master tag.
What's your quarterback? Master tag. Yeah, master tag. Everybody has it, and then on CFB, everybody has it. Every quarterback has it, no matter what they've had it since August. You kind of just get used to switching to the playmaker route and seeing it develop.
All right, so obviously biggest down in the game right here. 4th and 7. If he does not get this, it's pretty much GG's. What are your thoughts on this defensive play? Anything different?
I really like on big downs some type of cover two shell. I really like cover two on big downs. I like having 3 yellow zones on the middle of the field. It does a pretty good job against curl routes. Obviously, it's a little more susceptible to like if he go corner route over the cloud, he can underneath like on the right. But I just like cover two. I feel like it kind of shortens the field, and then I really know I'm really just looking the 3 yellows on the field. I'm just looking at the corners to see is there something breaking deep that I can switch to.
Gotcha. All right. So, and then you're really playing through inside quarter here on the right side, probably for the tight end streak, right? And then
Yes, tight end seam streak.
okay. And then you stem this cloud up on the right side pretty significantly compared to the left side. Any reason or what was the logic there?
I wanted it to make it look like it was a third in case he put him the running back on a streak,
Okay.
and then also it would play any crosser going over in the middle, like a
Okay.
deep crosser.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's see what happens here. 4th and 7. And he goes double drags, deep corner on the left. He got you
I
over the
just
top.
missed it. Yeah,
Got you over the top. That could have been just a tendency call, right? You guys play each other. He knows
yeah,
you like. He knows you like cover two in those situations. Ends up being able to
yeah,
take the top off.
yeah. So I laid. No, it was a good play call from him.
So a little bit of a mix
I
up
know his.
here.
Yeah, his. He calls the same 2 point play every time. He calls this cross drag, and then he has the. I mean, it's a good read from him. It's a perfect play. I thought I put pretty good defense on the field for it. This is a cloud flat, obviously on the outside, but the way he's able to throw this crosser is
Yeah, this dude just
super tough to defend.
insta snap cross drag, and he does this every two
Yeah,
point play.
I don't think he calls anything else from 2 point because he's comfortable like rolling out. Like obviously, and even if he wanted to, I mean, he could have just stepped up and ran. Like I mean, it puts so much pressure everywhere on the field, and he's called it. He's called this play for years, over and over and over again. I mean, he's quite literally mastered the play. It's
Yeah,
really tough to
and yeah, I
defend.
think you're even switching onto the cloud, but just can't quite get back there.
Yeah, yeah, it was just the perfect pass.
And just like that, it's a 1 point ball game.
Yeah, yeah, 24 or up 17. Now it's 1 point. Now I have to score. I tried to fair catch here. It didn't give it to me. And so at this point, I'm just trying to run back to try to take a little bit more clock so then I can guarantee myself 2 minute warning on the next play.
Yeah, that was a really interesting decision. Is that okay? So the main logic there is to try to burn a little bit of clock because you're ultimately just trying to get a couple first downs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm playing at this point where three first downs wins me the game.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because you do to a degree like risk, right? A little bit of risk there because you are taking yourself out of field goal range. But the
Yeah,
trade-off
yeah, for sure.
is but the trade-off is one play and now we're in the 2 minute warning.
And the other thing is playing someone like Velas, he is liable to put defense on the field that is 4 flat zones, like 2 hook zones and 2 flat zones, and like that will be his defense for the play. And so I want to be able to just throw a streak if that is aggressive, if he's that aggressive, and then I can still get a first down.
So giving yourself even more space to maybe take
Yeah.
the top off. Gotcha.
Hmm.
All right, so 3rd and 4, kind of save this. I felt like this was like a gotcha play, RPO.
Oh yeah.
Save this for a big down, right?
Yeah. Save it for a big down. I haven't called it all game. Puts like if he doesn't have a hard flat on the outside corner, like there's not really much you can do against that play.
There you go. All right. Well, there you go. That's a big first down. 3 timeouts left. Is this just a QB run here? Try
Yeah,
to see
just
what you
QB run
get.
here. Yeah.
Pitching the D line, user to the safety, trying to stop the run, and was able to. All right.
Yeah.
Timeout right there. So now 2nd and long. This situation, you're going to pass this. You're going to run this.
I think I forget exactly what I did here. I'm really looking on what kind of look he gives me. And so I go back to this. So he's giving me this look, D-line spread. I have a feeling he's going to go cloud on the left again. And so I go back to this combo. I mean, you can just see how everything is pulled. And then I think that's pretty much game. Or did I need one more first down? I needed one more first down after
Yeah,
that.
I think you need one
But
more.
like, I mean, you can see, watch how much stress the solo crosser puts on the zones. Like, look at this outside zone on the left.
yeah, it's
Like,
taking the
it's right where
third.
A
It's
is.
taking the hook. It's taking the
And
middle
it took
third.
that guy. I go back to the start of the play. Well, sorry, go back. I mean, I really want to show. Look at the slot corner. Look at how he runs right here on the left.
Take a look here on
The
the left
slot
side.
corner. Slots. Yeah, watch where he runs.
Oh,
Yeah. He pulls all the way to the middle of the field.
All the way in the middle, opens up the slant. It's a nice little combo right
Yeah.
there. And that's a big moment. Get you a first down. I think that's the 2nd time you ran this game. And now probably just run the ball on first down, see what you get, and then
Yeah.
go from there. Main reason for this is because if you get yourself in a 2nd and 1, then it's a really easy 2nd down play call.
Yeah.
So going to check to the trio here. I believe this is the QB. Yep, that power run that you ran in the red zone. And you can do exactly that, 2nd and 2. So now it's like, is it 2 straight runs and then see where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one run here and then see, can I get a first down? Obviously here I'm able to just get the first down, would put the game away.
And there it is.
I mean, yeah, so we move on. If I would have lost yardage there, I would have probably passed the ball then twice in a row and just because I don't want to punt to him, even if he's got 20 seconds left, knowing who I'm playing. That was first down or bust.
Yeah, just that good of an offensive player.
Yeah.
Well, good W on this one. This was the Final Four, so you are going to be advancing into the finals where you're going to be playing, I believe, a friend of yours, right? Villanova.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's my boy. That's my main person that I rep with, that I lab with. He was the first one that kind of switched over to CFB, and then he kind of told me to do it as well. So I hopped on, and we ended up playing in the grand finals. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, it was great talking with you guys, with you, Luke. Hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Again, I'll leave links to everything. If you want to learn more about Luke, what he's doing, I'll leave links to all his stuff in the description down below. And if you're looking to get better at Madden or college football, you can join our school community for free at the link in the description below.